Goodness gracious. Ew, we're here. Hello. Welcome to the very first audio draw with me. Oh my gosh. You guys asked for this, and I'm not sorry. I don't apologize for anything. No, I'm kidding. This is definitely something that I've wanted to do for a while, but I'll be honest. This is something I wasn't exactly sure people would want until you told me. So first of all, thank you for clicking on this video, and thank you also for all of the wonderful lovelies out there who just recently found me and gave my imposter syndrome a real good kick in the rear because I needed it. This is I don't want to say this is going to be an entire ramble session, but just to give you a lowdown of how things are going to go. Not all of the, well, okay, let me back up. You're going to really quickly find out. Tutorial Crystal is Crystal with a script. This is raw, uncut Crystal. We're going Snapcube live here. I'm not cutting anything. So, you're going to very quickly realize how much of a dork I am. My ADHD is going to bounce around. I'm going to try real hard to stay focused, though. I have some notes here, but, here it is. First one's going to be a little bumpy, so bear with me. But, going forward, just to let you know, first of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. Not all of these are going to be me dubbing over recorded footage. Essentially, to give you a little bit of insight of how I batch record for speed paints, for specifically like the juicy stuff, the really good stuff, like line art, maybe some effects here and there, the finishing touches of a picture. I want to get like the best of the footage I can get, the 60 FPS for the speed paint, and I use OBS to record that. So for these, I unfortunately will just be probably either they will be silent unless I have time, or I can talk over them and offer you some things and tips and tricks. But for the most part, going forward, what I would like to do is have either my face or my hands in the background. You'll be able to see my second monitor as well, so you can see exactly what references I'm looking at while I'm drawing, as well as a baby or two that might pop in my lap from time to time. That happens often, so maybe not this round because you won't be able to see them, but going forward you'll probably get to meet a cat, if you haven't already in the tutorials. So last but not least, I just also want to briefly add, this is really, really, really exciting, but I'm also, terrified out of my mind. So, I just wanted to say thank you again, for the wonderful lovelies that I've met. I didn't know there were nice people on the internet, but this has been a really, really wonderful community so far. And, my mom constantly reminds me that you attract what you are. So thank you for bringing the good karma. And many of you have also mentioned that I have a nice voice. So I guess if this is ASMR for you, I'm honored and humbled, but we're going to really quickly fall off the train. I can't promise where my brain's going to take us. So anyway, for this first block, I thought we would talk some line art techniques and things that might help you. So, for example, the KRIS that I'm drawing right now, you've already probably noticed, the speed paint is like the 50th or 70th stroke. The tutorial did not mention at all how many undos I take. There's like 1,000 of them. So that's, for one, like this is the raw footage. Maybe like a couple of parts are cut just for like, consistency. But for the most part, I probably that's why art takes me so long, because I'm undoing 7,000 times. Another thing, which isn't exactly visible here, it'll probably make more sense when I eventually do the speed paint for the cage. I like to do hatching for certain parts of the picture. So for shading, I don't know. Let me see. What I can tell you though, again, I'm bouncing around, I'm trying. Sorry guys, this is an experiment. That's right. So For the tutorial, I gave you guys like a very brief line art beginner tutorial introduction to line art that's very generalized for anybody using any software. Here, we can kind of dive into the weeds a little bit more, and I can give you a bit more of my insight to my whole process, the intermediate to advanced level stuff that you guys probably want if you do. You know, I'm happy to divulge as much as you want. I'm happy to share anything, as long, obviously, as it's not personal stuff. That includes family or friends. That's confidentiality, obviously. And certain footage for speed paints. Like, I don't want to basically give away the full vision until the speed paint's done. So what I thought this would be is you'll get to see basically the best of the speed paint footage after it comes out. So it'll be basically, this is the previous speed paint I just made, and it took me a while. So the parts that deserve maybe a real-time look at, or things that didn't make it into the footage, and you get to see the background of that stuff. And then once the speed paint's out, we'll basically get to see the draw with me, so batch draws with me of the footage from that. So anyway, here's another trick I can share. You can kind of see here in Kris's hair fold, which I also kind of want to do a tutorial on hair because it's my favorite part. It's fun. I'll add like a gray or a white line to a part of the body, or not body, but a part of the line art that's in black. So you can kind of see in one section where like it's overlapping. It would just be a big old black void unless there's a differentiation of line there. Let's see. There was another thought I had, which again, it's hard to explain because it's not really visually seen in this picture. You'll see it more for the cage, but just more tips. I'll add a white outline, or I'll erase the perimeter for, I'll erase like the outside lines for perimeter. So let me explain that better. Say for example, when things are closer to the camera, perspective wise, I'll add more thickened lines. I'll thicken the line art for things that are closer to the camera. Something now that I just started doing, wow, it's amazing how much my thoughts fly past me when I'm actually recording. I was ready. I promise, guys, I practiced. But my thought process, at least, is I can better show overlap with line art if I erase like the perimeter of the outside lines, or I add a little white extra outline. So again, you'll see with the cage, the hand, if you look at it, has like a bit more emphasis on it. Kris's hand specifically. I'm so good at organizing my thoughts, guys. This is really hard for me. Going forward, I hopefully will get better at this. This is new for me. What else? I guess the other thing that I could share, this isn't really visible here, but I like to add texture in the line art as well. So for example, not exactly in this part, but you can kind of see again in that little that little loopity-loop fold of Kris's hair. There's a little bit of texture. And that's just my sketch brush that I use for that. You can make any texture brush if you want in digital art with a little bit of noise or grain. But it just adds a little bit more of that texture detail inside, and it just makes it a more nitty-gritty, juicy part of it. So the one other tip that I was going to share, and I'm not sure how much this will help, but you guys let me know. Take this with a grain of salt if you want to. I don't know if this is Psy exclusive. I can't imagine it isn't. But you see that little green one that sits on the line art folder layer name? At least for Psy. Paint Tool Psy has this really cool feature that I just discovered a while back, where you can basically make the selection tool, your wand or whatever selection tool, lasso tool, select all of the layer. So I'll basically put all of my line art layers in one folder, and when I'm using the bucket tool, it'll select everything versus just that specific layer. So it makes it really easy to go and add big black, thick dark points in the line art later, and it makes it a lot easier for editing. Like that trick I saw forever ago blew my mind. I can't remember where I saw it though. So I hope this is somewhat helpful. And I promise you, as I get better at this, I'll be a little bit more relaxing and hopefully not as stressed to listen to. So this is a very fun experience for both of us, hopefully, and it's very humbling to kind of realize how much I don't know how to talk about my art. Actually, that's something we can talk about. When it came to the decision to start teaching art, I was going to save this for later, but I don't really have much else I can add line art wise. Maybe when we get to color and other things, I'll share more. But I don't want to give away everything right out the gate. But yeah, bug me all you want, of course. Line art is my favorite part of the process, but going forward with how to explain it was really new for me. And frankly, I'm so glad that a lot of you guys actually enjoyed my line art video. That was by far the one that popped off for me at the time. This is new, as in everything is new. Everything is new. But I'm genuinely so glad that it gave you all a chance to find me, because there's so much more that I was willing to share, and I'm happy to share. I just didn't know what to share. I don't know what you guys want. I don't know what the world wants, but frankly, there was no call or ask for it until the video came out, and next thing I knew, you guys were asking me questions, and I guess we'll go into this a little bit. We're about 10 minutes in, by the way. If you want to timer, I'll give you like little periodic breaks and times here and there. We're about 12 minutes into the first block. I really struggle with imposter syndrome, which I'm sure most of us do. And you might be like, what do you mean, Crystal? What do you shut up? No, it's true. I genuinely have been drawing forever, but I've never taken the time to talk about my art or my process or anything like that, because it never was asked for before. It's no secret, I am a dancer. I've been a dance teacher for almost a decade now, teaching kids in Parks and Rec and lots of various different artistic camps and things like that, whatever you have you. And that's been home for me. Like, I've just gotten used to it. I got thrown to the wolves one day because I basically was volunteering for a friend of mine / teacher / mentor. And I was just the assistant demo dancer at the time to lead the class. And then one day she just came to me and said, by the way, I'm leaving. I'm retiring. You're taking over after this. Now, So what? But sometimes you kind of have to go face first into some water and get ice cold splashed in the face until you realize that you can do it. I had no idea I wanted to be a teacher. I just was thrown the role one day, and then it kind of happened. And years later, I've fallen in love with it. And ironically, the same thing is kind of happening with art. Even though they're not that different, they're tangentially very related, as they're both artistic. I was having a really great conversation with my therapist. I talk to my therapist every week. I hope everyone in the world is able to be blessed with therapy, because as much as people shame it or don't believe in it, it is the number one thing that I think helps us grow as humans. You get to dive deeper into who you are, and it's only a space you can be and exist as your raw, imperfect self. So I always will be a support of therapy. But anyway, I've had a interesting journey, let's say, with, do I want to go here? Deep down comes out of me, I guess, when we're talking. I have had a very interesting experience with education, specifically going to college. I will always say college is a great place to learn it's a great place to focus on one modality. It is very helpful for networking and meeting a lot of people very quickly, and very much so chiseling that iron. However, I'm not going to bash college here, but it was not for me. For somebody who likes to learn a lot of different things, I like to learn a lot of different styles. I consider myself a generalist more than a specialist, master of none. I wanted to learn more than just art. I went to school for studio art, ended up going down the graphic design route. And lo and behold, later on down the line, I wanted to get into motion design, something I didn't even know was a thing until I got to college, which is basically the fancy intros that you see for my speed paints, the openings and the closing and all that stuff. Granted, being at least in the U.S., in the America land, the way education works here is you basically go down one path and you stay on that one path for 4 to XYZ years. And if you're able to excel in that role, you get to go to the ideal place you want for your career. You get to live the life you want and all of that stuff. But essentially, I liked bouncing around too much, and it just really, really, really was not a pleasant experience for me. So this is not me telling you not to go to college. I'm just gonna say it didn't work for me. I hope it works for you, and I'm sorry if it doesn't and you're stuck. You can do it, though. I'm here to push you forward and tell you, you got this, champ. You can, you can, you can. It's not a great time, but you can. You will, and you will, and you will. Wow, I didn't mean to go here. But going all across the grid, I had a point. Oh no. The adult is affecting me again. The ADHD is so bad. I guess I'll just leave you with this. I've not had exactly, that's right, I've not exactly had the most pleasant college experience. There is probably some trauma there. I'm not about to trauma dump like Amori here. But I was mad depressed for a while. Shockingly, I haven't drawn like this in about 6 years. If you notice, my speed paints, they're only for 2025 and after. There's a 6-year gap. And that whole time, I was figuring out what the heck to do with my life. Essentially, I get icky and I get itchy when I hear the word teacher. At least for art. I couldn't tell you why. Dance, I have no problem. It just, something doesn't feel right. But I like the word mentor more because I want to be able to pass on what I know without stopping my forward momentum. I want to keep learning. I don't want to stop. I want to be able to create anything I can imagine without questioning how. I want to learn a lot of different softwares. I want to continue doing more than just human anatomy. I want to learn animal anatomy. Don't be shocked if at some point you see ZBrush sculpts on here, because I plan to learn ZBrush very soon as I can afford it. I want to. And essentially everything I've ever learned and everything I continue to learn will live on my sister channel at the Crystal Library. But anyway, I'm going to ramble for 4 more years. Point is, this was a huge shift for me mentally. Being on YouTube really did help me as a human. By the way, you have about 1 more minute before this break ends. That's what that little ding was for. I just wanted to let you all know that I am super uber grateful for every single one of you who has found me or discovered any of my art along the way. And if you enjoy what you're seeing, stick around, because I ain't done. Far from it. This was probably the roughest year of my life up until now. It's been tough, but I am grateful for it. I'm so grateful for it. I could talk more about it, but I'm going to save that for the second block. About 15 seconds remaining before you wrap up this first block. So get ready to reset your eyes, and I'll be back in about 10 seconds. Well, about 20 seconds. See you in a second. Go look away from the screen, pet a pet, do all the things you need to do. Go pet your mom, go pet your dad if they're still nearby in the room. Pet your head, pet yourself for a job well done. Be proud of yourself, friend, today. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back. Welcome back. Alrighty. So let's see. I guess now we can continue ranting about art, but I really want to dig into a little bit of imposter syndrome, actually. As I was mentioning previously in the first block, things were rough this year. For sure, I'm sure many people have really struggled this year, not just us. Across the board, it's been tough for anybody trying to survive. And I just definitely want to let you know that you are not at fault for anything that has happened in your life. Nothing that has transpired recently or will transpire is directly your fault. There's always a third story that usually isn't getting told. And I had to remind myself of that this year because a lot of things were out of our control. Can anyone relate, Chris Streamer? Granted, my life is definitely not as terrifying as this poor child who's just getting yanked around by an inanimate soul alien thing, but they did ask for it? Question mark? I don't know. But gist of it was, I won't go into too much of the weeds here, but my mom and I basically lost our jobs at the beginning of this year, and we've really kind of just been floundering with not much, and nobody was hiring, jobs weren't available. It wasn't our fault, it's just what it was. The time is what it is. And granted, this is not a sob story, this is not an SOS, this is just the beginning of a beautiful, auspicious start. Because thankfully, for that reason, I came back to YouTube. I was on hiatus for the longest time, mainly because of depression, but also I had gotten settled. I was comfy in what I was doing, which was teaching kids. And as special as a space as that was, I felt like I had a call to do more. I was starting to outgrow my pond very quickly. I wanted to dive deeper into the ocean. It was a part of my life that got me to where I was now, but I'm very grateful that I still have that as a background. I had basically respectfully quit that job, not closing the door completely, which is what I'm about to say now. I'm actually getting rehired back at that job now. Yay, thankfully, because as much as it wasn't exactly what I needed, it was a very much necessary job that I had to have, and it got me to where I am now. But rambling aside, my mom was less fortunate. She did not have a job or an extra pedestal to stand on. So, point is, I think everyone, I don't wish this on anyone. I would never ever wish it on anyone. But I do think everyone needs to experience rock bottom at least once. Because it really does teach you what you're made of. It shows you what you're capable of. This all happened, ironically, because I got a new car that I couldn't afford. Ironically, my old car died at the end of 2024, and I got a new car that was, at the time, more than the monthly payment I could afford. So I was looking for work, and no one was hiring, and I had to figure it out. Still am figuring it out. But I'm a lot closer than I ever was before. And frankly, if you had asked me at the beginning of this year if I would ever do a draw with me or share art tutorials on YouTube, I would vehemently say no. Not necessarily because I don't like y'all. It's not that. I'm such a cerebral person. My God, I'm so autistic it hurts. Why do you think I only think about Deltarune all day? I hyperfixate on this game. It's all I have. Yes, I am on the spectrum. Despite what you might believe, we're all different colors here. I was dubbed once upon a time ago with Asperger's syndrome, which is now I think just lumped into the lump sum of neurodivergency. But point is, I genuinely had no idea at all what to do after stuff. I had a job in May, and then summer came and I didn't. And thank God for Toby Fox. Thank God for that man. 'Cause yeah. Oh, thank you, car. This is also live. I have neighbors, and neighbors are gonna neighbor. Hello. I can't control them. I definitely have always been a fan of Toby's games. But I was gonna ramble about this later. I definitely just hadn't been drawing at all for like the entire 6-year gap that I was on I was suffering through artist block. Oh, you know what? That's actually a good thing we can discuss. Art block is a very real thing that a lot of us experience, and I want to bring attention to that. But before chapters 3 and 4 came out, I was, doodling here and there. But I really was. You really are your own worst enemy 90% of the time. And that's not to bash you. That's not to insult you. We're all just our worst critics. I wish I could say that I wasn't, I was hiding myself. I was not just not drawing, but I explained that horribly. But I really wanted to continue drawing as much as I could, but I couldn't. I was locked up. I was really tight in my mindset. Prior to this whole entire shift mentally, it started because of a car. But really, beforehand, when I was doing doing speed paints, like 2018 before, I would take like 3 months on a picture like I'm doing now. I'd take forever on pictures, but I wouldn't say anything. I would just disappear for a whole trimester, and then, no word, no social media post, no context, and then boom, I reappear. Here's a finished picture. Don't you like it? And of course, the rest of the world went, why would we? We have no reason to. Why would I care? So I kind of fell into this weird depression because I was doing art not just necessarily for other people. It wasn't art for me anymore. I felt like I was continuously making art for some other reason, which is, a lot of people have mentioned to me, they're like, wow, your art's really amazing. It's really cool. You should monetize it more. You should sell your art. Or at least like you should do quick sketches, you should do charcoal, like whatever. And it was really hard for me to explain to non-creatives how fickle the art space is. The creative space is such a fickle thing. It's fleeting. Creativity and the energy to create takes a lot of mental space, and that bandwidth was quickly drying up. So I went from a place where I was creatively thriving, like 2015, because that's when Undertale came out, up until like 2016, 17. And then as things were kind of taking off for a second, I fell into this weird space where I didn't know who the art was for anymore. I was chasing money, I was chasing other people, I was chasing algorithms. It wasn't because I purely desired to make art anymore. And the bomb hit and I was gone. I feel like I had lost part of myself, part of my soul. Art really got me through most of my life. It got me through school, it got me through grief, it got me through loss, and it got me through this hell of a year. 2025 by far is one of the hardest years I've experienced up until now. But damn it, I'm so grateful it happened. I'm so grateful it happened. And I'm again, reminder that I don't wish any of you to experience that, but you are capable of so much more than you think. and most of us are holding ourselves back. You know, I've mentioned to people around me, I've actually kind of wanted to be a life coach for a second. I still kind of feel like I want to be a life coach, but I don't know if people want to hear me waffle on about life and junk. But the gist of it is, I guess I'm too stuck in my ways. I like to draw what I like to draw. I don't want to change what I'm doing. You can't tell me what to do, yada yada yada. And what kind of life coach is that, right? Like, I'm a hypocrite. If I give you advice and then I don't do it myself, well, I'm a just big fat liar. I guess the last thing I wanted to add to this is my advice for anybody out there who is struggling with art block, because it is very real and it is something that it kicked my ass, man. If anything, what brought me back? For one, when you are at your lowest, you are the most susceptible to change. Quote Aang from Korra, I'm pretty sure. Insert any therapist to quote here, but when you literally have nowhere else to go, the only place you can go is up. That's it. And frankly, it was a wake-up call that I very much needed. You know, I had a really good friend who knows me better than I know my own self, who, she's like this sagely wise old lady in her 20s who just happens to know, like, wisdom beyond, like, she feels like she's somebody who's been alive for 500 years. And she basically suggested to me, she was like, well, why don't you just do, like, quick 10-minute drawings every day and don't judge them? And I laughed in her face and I went, ha! That's funny. You don't know me at all. Ha ha ha. That's never going to happen. But, you know, dang it, she was right. I am so critical of my work. I'm real competitive, if you haven't noticed. I genuinely just couldn't get past the thought of, doing fast drawings? If you've noticed, I don't draw fast. And that's another thing. The nice thing about having tutorials to space out my content, because my content primarily was speed paints, and now that I'm doing other things, which is a little bit easier to make, you think 50 hours is a long time, but I've actually been rushing most of my art. By the way, I have to make an amendment. The Roaring Night was not 14 hours. It lies. That's actually like 34 hours. I think that edit was incorrect. But anyway, you know, for somebody who is very much a perfectionist, still is, I really, really struggled with the thought process of drawing quickly and letting it go. Just draw anything that comes to mind and don't get attached to it because it's only 10 minutes. So I literally had to kind of rework and reorient my brain around that thought process. And a lot of times when I would sit down to draw, I would sit and stare at that blank canvas for hours and pray that something would happen. And usually nothing would. But I want to be clear. Art block is real, and it happens to anybody who's an artist if you are amazing, because art block is necessary. It's a good thing. It sucks when it happens, but that's your brain growing. Basically, during that 6-year lapse, my brain was evolving, but because I hadn't practiced the art at all, my skills had rusted over. So when I would draw, I would look at it and the taste in my brain had excelled, but the skill level was not there yet. And I would just get mad at everything that I drew. And I'm like, this sucks, flip table. So I was always just so critical of my work. And because of that exercise, frankly, it really kind of made me accept a lot more. Circumstance-wise, I don't have any control of the outcome. I just need to draw. I just need to draw today. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be anything. It just has to feel good. And that would be enough for now. So it started with small little drawings of my cats, which I just adopted at the time, which was 2023. My graduation gift, somebody gave me 2 pairs of kittens, a Mochi and a Pepper. You'll see them. I'm a cat mom. I can't hide them. They're very loud. They're both Bengals. Anyway, it started with drawing anything in my vision, my cats, things that I was inspired by. Like I watch a lot of anime. Sometimes it would be a Death Note L. Sometimes it would be an Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. Ironically, I love me some Sonic the Hedgehog. He's my boy. He's my rock. He was my first love. I won't lie. I love that blue hedgehog. Though I don't get a lot of ideas to draw Sonic characters. I don't know. I couldn't explain to you. I also love One Piece, and I don't plan to draw any One Piece art. I couldn't tell you what makes my brain itchy. I don't know. But it would just be whatever the moment was at the time. And, you know, it's just like a muscle. You gotta keep exercising it. Like, I literally just finished a workout today, and I'm coming off of a, kickboxing workout I did. I use Apple Fitness. And you gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep working at that muscle. You gotta keep trying to strengthen it, because you don't use it, you lose it. So that's exactly what had happened. The taste had evolved beyond the point my body was capable of creating, and I was frustrated. So I had to learn to accept the trash drawings, the garbage that I thought I was making, the stuff that I didn't like looking at, the ugly sketches. I had to learn how to love them. I had to learn how to love Kiana again. Because I won't lie, past Kiana was kicking it in the art game. I was doing it, man. I was doing conventions. I was sharing prints. I was making speed paints regularly. I was drawing so much that I gained weight. Not a lot, but enough that I noticed when I went back to dance class, I was like, ooh, that jump was harder than it used to be. I can't get off the ground like this anymore. But point was, I went from basically thriving as a creative to the downfall that I felt like was inescapable. And I was literally like, I guess I'm done. I'm a washed up old hag. I can't draw anymore. Gosh. I would get inspired by things, but the things I would create never measured up to what I envisioned. So it was a really, really steep climb coming back. I'm rambling and I'm sorry, but if you do actually want to know more about my process, there is a 3 video trio or triage that I did for I did a portrait of my grandfather, which is very unrelated because it's not digital art, but mentally speaking it relates. It was my entire way back home, remembering to love Kiana, because I was grieving her. Part of me is kind of still grieving my past self, where I used to be. If you are one of those people that used to do something and you loved it, was so naturally easy, like just breathing, and then all of a sudden you can't, and you feel like your entire worth is measured in that thing, I promise you, there's so many other ways to be separate from that thing. But we have to be okay and love the person we're looking at in the mirror first. Self-love is not something that comes with time. It takes lots of work. Lots of work. 1 minute remaining, by the way. So all that to say, sorry, Deep Town comes out of me when we do draw with these. I can't promise this will be going forward. Not all of them are going to be like this again, because this one's going to be a little more structured because I'm just dubbing over this dialogue. But I think the next few will probably just be nonsensical lizard brain. And it'll be in real time. You'll probably get to see my hand in my self-drawing, as well as probably a cat or 2 in lap. But ironically, at this time right now, I'm catless. But they'll be here later. So anyway, if you want a deeper dive into anything related to art block, or, that entire journey of how I came back from art block, that 3-piece video with me and my grandfather is basically what that is. So if that helped you at all, I'm hopeful that the other videos will be a bit more beneficial to you. So anyway, about 10 seconds remaining in this block. Stick around, because this next block, if you care at all about what I'm drawing, I'm gonna just nerd out about Deltarune now. Enjoy 20 seconds. Reset your eyes. Okay, I hope you stood up. I hope you walked around your room for 5 seconds if you are capable of movement. Because now I'm just gonna ramble about how much I love this game. If you don't know anything about Deltarune, that's okay. Not all of them will be this. I just got a gush. So, sorry. Didn't mean to attack the microphone. Sorry, that was probably very loud. I hope I didn't wake you up if you were asleep. So anyway, let's see. I was too excited to ramble. There we go. Yeah. The cage. It's not on screen right now. It's not what you're seeing. But I'm real excited about where I'm going with it. 'Cause I can't show you yet, but when I can, all I'll give you is this. Because if you do decide to, there is a contest for the cage. If you didn't know, you can basically download my latest work every 3 months. And currently right now it is, the cage. Another picture involving Kris. Hee. I love that mess of pixels, man. I might have a small crush on the bag of pixels. Not parasocial, I promise. I swear, no. I don't care. Judge me all you want. Do it. Bully me all day long. I just a little hint, I guess, to what I'm envisioning for this picture. I can't say anything yet, but I see a lot of hands. And we know Kris might lose a hand. I'll let you sit with that. I'll just keep baiting you until the speed paint's done. Sorry. But dork nerd time. What I thought I would ask you, because currently right now I've only really done art of the Fun Gang. There is, I think, a Titan picture, but for the most part it's only been the Fun Gang. And as I mentioned before, during that whole art block period of time, I basically missed all of I drew the chapter 1, the original chapter 1 picture of the legendary heroes, back when I thought Susie was a horse. So she looks a bit horse equine-like there. But beyond that, I've done nothing for chapter 1 and not even touched chapter 2. So I guess while we wait for chapter 5, on deck right now, obviously, is the cage. That's going to probably take me to end of January, because I take a while to make art. Though it probably won't take me as long going forward, because now I know how to make tutorials. And, I'll space them out a bit better, because I was basically going at both ends, killing myself trying to make these. So now we're going to do them bi-weekly, because we have the Draw With Me's. Yay. But anyway, hopefully going forward, not every picture will take me 3 months to make. So we have the cage on deck. And then I got another crazy crystal tangle for Snowgrave. I can't really talk about much there, but there is a short that exists that might give you a hint of where I'm going with it. And then I wanted to leave it open because I think June 5th is when Chapter 3 came out. So I wanted to possibly do Lightners Live for June's contest. We'll see. We'll maybe see. I've always wanted to draw them in their cute little outfits from the concert. They're so cute. And it just gives me more excuses to draw hair. Yay. Fun playing with Susie and Kris and Rouse Afro hair. That'll be fun. So if anybody wants that, June 5th might be Lightners Live when we get there. But people have asked me, actually, this is a good question, if I ever plan to draw Queen or Tenna. And no. I'm sorry. I don't really have any other way to explain this other than I don't get super excited when I look at characters with a lot of... Here's the thing. I started out drawing warrior cats forever ago, if anybody's familiar with that series. So, you know, fur, organic shapes, textures, and things like that. Hell, if that identifies me as a furry, I guess. Not that I'm into that. That's the stuff I drew. Anyway, that also would mean that every single Zootopia artist is a furry. Whatever. I don't know what that means. It's getting weird. See where my brain goes? This is the lizard brain I warned you about. Anyway, I don't know exactly why, but like there's a lot of depth to Tenna and Queen as well. The same thing. Like they're very richly deep characters if you really look at it. Besides, like, you know, there's the meme half of Deltarune, which is just like, you know, Asgore ran over Des. But I'm here for the deep town stuff. I'm here for the lore and the good stuff to dig into, the metaphorical, metaphysical stuff that, like, Kris and the soul. What the heck is going on with that? Ugh, they fascinate me so much. You can tell this is all I think about. This is KRIS Deltarune lives rent free in my head all day long. Go for it. But anyway, yeah, character design wise, I love Queen. I love Tenna, and that's not to say I don't enjoy their characters. I think they're hilarious. Queen by far is one of the funniest characters Toby's ever written. But I don't really get as excited to draw them. Mainly, I guess, character design wise, they're rather simple. I don't know how else to explain it. All of the characters in Deltarune don't have exactly extravagant designs. They're fabulous, but, you know, I like another thing. I really would love to draw Sham, but we don't know anything about him yet. But again, it's right up my alley, which is like, you know, animal-esque, anthro-esque fur characters. So, I couldn't tell you why I don't get excited about the big old TV box, but I don't have any immediate plans to draw Tenna. If I were to ever draw Tenna, though, it would probably be when his arms get cut off. Does that make me a horrible person? Honestly, like, I would, it's less about the character and more about, like, ooh, all those wires and entangled limbs, I could play with that. Ooh, that'd be fun. So I don't know. There's a lot of depth to Tenna and as well as Queen. But what I would like to say going forward while we're waiting for Chapter 5, depending on when it's released, I have no idea. We'll get to June and we'll see. Maybe we'll learn something. Maybe we'll get a trailer. Maybe we won't. I would actually mind if it was released much later, because then it gives me some time to cook some more Deltarune content, because I take forever to make stuff. I would actually love to do like a Secret Boss series, where obviously January is going to be the cage. Probably March is going to be Snowgrave, well after Christmas is over. Unfortunately, I'm late. I miss deadlines all day long. But, you know, Snowgrave will be March contest. And then Lightner's Live for June. Beyond that, I don't want to completely relegate myself only to Deltarune, but that's kind of my thing right now. That's my niche. I had plans to do a Zelda picture forever ago. And if you watch the dynamic posing video, you'll see the sketch for that. It's all over the place. It was when I was still figuring out life and stuff, and it's not good. It's not, I don't know. But I would love to draw Jevil. I never did anything for Jevil, and that makes me mad. That makes me sad. He's such a silly good clown. As well as Spamton, which, you know, again, same issue. He's mostly like robotic and mechanic kind of character, but there's so much to play with. Like, it would be a crime not to do Spamton. Spamton Neo specifically, and their whole relationship with Kris and what it represents for Kris. So that could be something. And then, of course, Gerson versus Susie. Which, by the way, if you want to see me finish that picture, you got to get it to 100 likes. Hee selfless plug. The video itself, the sketch video. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm all over the place right now, so I guess you guys tell me what you want to see. Just know that it's gonna take me 3 months to make it. Just a warning in advance. um, and yeah, all the while, I also won't mind making tutorials now that I'm at least over that hurdle mentally. I think I'm more than happy to make tutorials now. I would love to do one for Snowgrave, which I'm planning to do one which is color theory, kind of like how do you make Christmas feel scary? Because that's Snowgrave's whole idea. I want to do like a picture of both Kris and Noelle from Light World and Dark World. So that'll be fun. I guess I can talk a little bit about it. Basically, the idea I've had forever. I already have the music locked down. I already have the music mix made. Now we just have to make the opening. Probably we'll play with Blender a little bit and some After Effects. Oh, which by the way, I don't know if anyone cares about this, but if you want to see any of that stuff, let me know. It's mostly art here, but if you care at all about, you know, After Effects or motion design or any of how I make my openings and closings, let me know, and I'll happily share that footage as well too. That would probably most likely be relegated to the Crystal Library though, which you can see in the bottom right. But anyway, the vision I had for Snowgrave, which I'm very excited about, I basically wanted to put Kris and Noelle in the Snowgrave. So, you know, I see a lot of art of Birdly there because that's what happens in the game. But like they're frozen in the capsule because they're literally like frozen and isolated in time in their whole situation. And I guess one more thing I have to mention. I want to just also say thank you for being as, I guess, you guys really seem to enjoy the nonsense that comes from my brain. So, I'm not at all here to make, you know, I don't want to come across and say like I'm a Deltarune fan, but I'm gonna get things wrong. I don't know the lore backwards and forwards. That's not my thing. Lineart, I'm sorry. Theories and the whole entire I guess my whole point is I'm not really a theory channel. I've done a couple of them in the past, but mostly fan art lives here. Every once in a while I might get an idea, like I kind of want to explore Noelle and obedience. I feel like that's an interesting topic to discuss. But beyond that, you know, if any of the art that I've made up until now, even if it's completely nonsensical and kind of random and, you know, crazy, actually resonates with some of you, thank you. I don't mean to step on any toes if there's art that's not accurate to the game or whatever, but it's just stuff that came to my brain, and you guys seem to enjoy it. So anyway, how many times am I going to say anyway? Rambling aside, yeah, so idea for Snowgrave would be fun. But after that, yeah, I don't know. So I guess what I would like to now do is, you guys have about, I'll say about 10 more minutes. I've been rambling nonstop this entire draw with me, and I don't think it's very relaxing if I just am talking nonstop, and I doubt you got any work done to this. So I think, if anything, I'm actually going to be a little quieter now, and I'll let you guys focus for these remaining 10 minutes. And I'm going to do some drawing myself, which you will see in the future, possibly for a draw with me, not sure yet. But anyway, the point is, if you happen to have any questions at all, I don't mind sharing any of the answers, if it's art related, of course. Life related, sure, probably, as long as I don't have to share anyone's privacy. But tutorials will basically be on hold for just a second while I finish the cage, and then we'll make some more when I start Snowgrave, and vice versa. Basically, in between pictures, I'll have a few tutorials for you to digest. But if there's a specific topic you have or questions you want answers to, these will basically be where I do Q&As, and I'll answer anything you want to know more about. I'm happy to share as your note sharer. I love, I was one of those kids that made excessive notes. I was very proud of my notes in school. Probably could have sold them for some money. But I am happy to share anything you want to know. So Anyway, I'm gonna do what I said. I'm gonna be a little quieter now, and I'm gonna start line art for Rouse. So thank you so much for joining me this session. This isn't the end of it. You have 5 minutes left to remain. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you for listening so far. I'll just probably be humming in the background, and you can play the game of what song is Crystal listening to. All right. It's time for some Paradise Paradise. Oh, and by the way, I should also add, I also love music. If you guys got music to drop, let me know. There's a Discord, and you can just drop music in that channel if you want to. Discord link is probably... I'll make sure the Discord link is available if you want to share. I'm more than happy. If you got music that you would like to suggest for possible speed paints, let me know as well. I'll reach out to the creator, and if they give me permission, we might get to use it. So let me know. I tend to hum subconsciously, so I'm sorry in advance. I'm not even aware I'm doing it most of the time. I was aware of that, but... A little under 3 minutes remaining for your final session. Oh, just realized something else I can talk about, but we'll save that for the other draw with me when we get to line art part 2. Four, three, two, one. Hopefully my humming doesn't get me a copyright strike. I'm sure Toby's chill, but I was humming Michael Jackson one time and I got a copyright stricken. My humming was that accurate? Dang. Oops. Sorry, MJ. Have you figured out what song this is yet? I'm sure you all are. You're a smart cookie. Dum, 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 dum. Little under a minute, y'all. And by the by, feel free to start this again or just have it loop. I am more than grateful if you decide to, if you actually enjoy any of this nonsense that comes from my mouth. But I just wanted to say one more time, we are actually almost monetized on YouTube thanks to you guys. So thank you so, so much. Thank you truly so, so much. We're gonna be okay. Mom and I are gonna be okay. That wasn't a guilt trip, but I just wanted to say a sincere thank you. Anyway, we're going to close up the session in about 10 seconds, so I love y'all to pieces, and as always, keep playing, keep loving, and keep dreaming, and I'll see you for the next draw with me. Bye, y'all.